for a long time to be able to go into the communities. We've been made aware by a number of communities about the importance of their input into the hearings. This is the first time we're doing it in Manitoba. So it's our opportunity to also experience the community the person is returning to see what the supports are.
I think when we do a hearing such as this, going into the community, it's exciting in a different way than our elder-assisted and than our regular hearings. We don't know quite what to expect. We have an idea of what to expect, but there are so many things that can change because there's so many players who are involved, and we have to rely on the community to coordinate rather than us being able to orchestrate in a very institutional setting. It's a challenge and a trust issue, I think, to go into the community and be prepared to let it unfold the way that it needs to.
When I go before a judge and plead guilty or not guilty, there's no feeling to it. When I go before the National Parole Board and ask for parole, when there's 2, 3, or 4 people deciding my fate, there's a lot of emotions that I mask. There's honesty is not necessarily there, because the final outcome I want is to be released. But when you do it in a circle before the community, in your community, in front of your victim, in front of your parents, your grandparents, your children, then it gives more meaning to it. There's more sincerity, and because of the sacredness to it, is that I not only have to respect myself, I have to respect the people within this circle that I have said yes, that made changes in my life.
A regular hearing is a more clinical, less emotional, officious sort of procedure. Them on one side of the table, you on the other. Everybody takes their turns. They know when their turn is coming, and it's not always adversarial, but can be. An elder-assisted hearing is entirely different. There are no barriers between you. You're all in a circle. As the elder says, you're equal. We tend to dress less formally at the elder-assisted hearings than what we would at the other hearings, and so there are very few barriers between you and all of the participants. Everybody is free to express themselves without fear of consequences, repercussions, hurt feelings, whatever. And so you tend to get some very truthful, emotional statements at an elder-assisted hearing that you may not get in a regular hearing. The community-assisted, as this one was, it's a super elder-assisted hearing. It goes beyond what we would normally get in an elder-assisted hearing, because there's a more dynamic element. There's also an element that's less predictable.
This is for you, Dwayne. I left an empty chair over there. Sometimes when the victim is not here, we need to address that as something that's part of us that came in place in our lives. And so, Dwayne, that's for you too. And for the other ones here in the circle, maybe your grandfathers or grandmothers or parents have gone on. You can use that chair symbolically, that your loved ones might be sitting there, to give you that strength, to help you, to be here for you. So with that, for now, we'll start the process, and when the circle goes around, maybe, without interrupting the one that's talking, because when we interrupt somebody in a circle, we hurt the spirit. And, oh, what I hurt. Why did that person stop me? When I was getting into the thing, That's why we allow the circle to carry on itself, out of respect for everyone. That's why we sit eye level to each other here. We overlook everything else, It's a comfort zone. It's a safety zone.
I've met with the elder, and I had met with other people who were working with Dwayne, and I kept saying that there was something inside of him that needed to come out, and he was blocking everything. And he went through his first program, the base program, and the wall was up all the way around. So I'm very proud of the work that he's done, and I certainly feel confident that we are sending a man back into the community, or recommending to send a man back into the community that is healing. He has a way to go, but the people in this community can help him continue. So that's all I have to say now.
I could never deal with honesty. That's where I built my walls around my barriers. That first day when I stopped resisting myself, I was inside that lodge. I went to go and confess to the Creator what I had done. I'm looking to my community and saying, I need help.
He's really done a tremendous amount of work in that direction. And I believe he's able to continue that. Rich, thank you.
I want to say thanks to everyone that is here, every one of you for. I know we all have a purpose and we all have our guidance according to where we work or where you work, and I thank you for being here. But I think my main concern is I hope that this process in which will follow will benefit everyone, including Dwayne. The wrong has been done and admitted to, and I suppose that's why we're all here.
On behalf of our Chief Percy Harper, I would like to welcome you to our community. It's good to see the parole board coming to our community. And I was glad, I've never heard of any parole hearing happening in our community. It's the first time I witnessed a parole hearing.
Iwatswe ma ayatstwe we tamam tindam higan stay twitchak kawicham stay kadaki kawi spring enyak mokapandan kevin spring kanyan kumoning egamnanya ane anisagam kevin mokapandan Igam nawin kada takutin skin gobna. Mantu ene gusta magwak, chonj mam nendam higu kakna gigu. Igam na kanibang. Nisizak iyawats. Imentagudats. Kevin no goban dangmen. Kevin no konodo anu gwena. Nisizak. Igam na kabnistiyuk. Nagigo, magpapanda. stay ikiman makarawi nuja kan ga kiwichi ako pani iginin naman ajan sa Waasagamach penwe ka kabaygan stay gen gikaganuna kisma nientak manton mujak chapenum mujak ngina ka Waasagamach.
It was Dwayne who was the pivotal point or the catalyst that kind of took whatever we had in terms of our own little castles, tore them apart, because what came out of this man was just pure emotion. I've worked with offenders for many years now, and this was the first time that I really felt remorse, true remorse coming from an individual.
Going down anime what Michigan way. I'm going to go down with you. And he may what I would a very strong and not cable is and short watch. I was skating on the maze books in the line. Books in Muhtamo Tower and a gowny chance watch. I'm staying down. It's kind of more great. Suvidra gave Martigan on Artment. Even a gave got giving the head of maths on so book to us. Which I is second to the book. You can not away. I gave you got maths on you and one to me. And yes, cake and yen and the man to jam with it. Which you might go up and the one to and gauge not to show your mouth and they will go up and start boxing. I was made to away, pay Tagad zone in the Musset. A garden skin is sick, none of Davajan, from where I give the quarton. The quarton seven boxing, the quarton of Savage, no dogman to Vakajan. Me to one kick, take you to a yard kind of phone.
The lady that you hurt, you not only hurt her physically, spiritually, emotionally, but the hurt, from what I could read in the file, went beyond that. She got hurt by the community as well because of what you said, because of what you did, and the lies that you told at the time. What about her? Is she going to continue to be a victim for the rest of her life? Or is she going to be, have you told everybody what you have done? And is she going to be forgiven as you are being forgiven?
But I'm here telling you guys, everybody that's around the circle. I did a lot of growing up inside that prison. Being sober, clean, that's taught me a lot. I learned how to pray from inside here, not from my head anymore. I started saying my prayers in my language, the way I understand it.
Thank you. What you said, it took a lot of courage to bear yourself in front of your community. And I'm glad you have that courage. And I know you are a strong man, you're going to be a stronger man. Thank you, man.
I'm very glad that I hear everything from him. Like everything is really getting out for me. Like, because a long time ago I was so hurt inside. Like, I don't know what to think. Now and then I feel much more better the way I hear him talking about And I really need him because I need his help.
I would really like my brother to come home. I miss him.
I'd like to thank the people that brought this process into our community. I think it's long overdue. And one of the things that we have to work with is trying to fill in those gaps where there's traditional teachings and the more contemporary counseling methods. And we currently work on those with our elders and with our group.
I support Dwayne. It takes a big man to admit a mistake.
And to the rest of the community, Waasagamach, I thank you on behalf of the Thompson Parole Office for engaging in these proceedings. The bottom line of all this is how is Dwayne going to implement his correctional plan in the community? And how is he going to acquire the assistance that he's going to need? The National Parole Board and the Correctional Service of Canada are here because Dwayne initiated his parole application pursuant to Section 84 of the Corrections and Conditional Release Act. Section 84 provides an opportunity for the Aboriginal community to become involved in the planning of the correctional plan, the community correctional plan. As a matter of fact, when we went through the process here, it was for that reason that I said risk probably be managed quite well here, given the availability of all the community resources. And there's lots of them here.
Just about all of us here, I guess. We take out people out to the land, not only to heal, but to have a good time, you know. Find that inner peace, that harmony, that's over there, you know. You know, survival, you know. Survival, you learn survival. Just being on the land is living in harmony with God's creation, that's survival. And from there, the land itself is a university by itself. So that university is ready for you. And I wait for you, you know. I wait for you. And on speaking on behalf of the land, I want to welcome you home. That's all I have to say.
And we take a look at whether or not a person has taken advantage of treatment. Are they capable of doing that? And have they demonstrated that capability? Well, you heard Dwayne here today say, it took me a while. I went through this process. He's accepted the treatment from psychologists, from therapists, and from your traditional people. And the last thing that I heard very clearly here today is that this community has been doing things to make sure that there are the supports. Two very strong elders here in this community that are prepared to walk with Dwayne in support of what the elder that he first met. I guess that's the first time he really disclosed and worked with an elder. And I heard him saying, I want to continue with you. So quite frankly, at the end of all of this, I don't know of a better case to release to the community than you. Looking at each other, we've agreed to grant the full parole for you to come home to your community. There's another element, and that has to do with whether or not we put conditions on. We can put conditions on that say you are not allowed to drink, you are not allowed to do this, you are not allowed to do that. But there is enough strength and enough support in this room that we're not going to put those conditions on, Dwayne.
It's too easy to have somebody say you can't do this and so you don't do it. The real test is when you know you can do it and can get away with it and don't do it. And so that's the responsibility we're giving you by not putting any special conditions on.
Dwayne, since it's your circle, you are responsible for bringing us here. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Sometimes, to be responsible for anyone that you've affected, it's important for you to know that. Sometimes you're responsible in a negative way for bringing people together, and then there's a way out of being responsible for bringing people together to understand where you're at, and where we're at with you. So with that, in closing, I will give you the circle. In closing, any comments you want to make on your behalf or on anybody's behalf, it's yours.
Oh boy. Thank you. Just plain old thank you, everybody.
Aside from today's decision, there was a lot of the stuff that was unintended. People came closer together. There was a growing understanding, more empathy for the victim, the plight of the victim, by other community members. Certainly a revival of spirituality. And what happened in Waasagamach is, it seemed that a lot of people held pieces of the puzzle towards wellness. What Dwayne's process has done is bring those people and they put that puzzle together. Now we're at a stage where the bigger challenges lie ahead, and that is to deliver the service that's required here.
Taimina kono teni gan. Yo no te apa ten. Tamamo nto akan wichitoa. Ego ga paikas kwa kumagan no. Nansi ka pega hiwech. Kani sato sketch quest. Kan stok tatoa. Tuicha akoge. Dinim no. Bewewich. Takaskitach. Kuichish siketato. Accept magab neituan. Hey.